Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we have finally got the finalized information on well-deserved reward, and you can get it from today, December the 5th. Started at 4 a.m. UK time, 5 a.m. CET. You can go and pick your well-deserved reward for 2024. Well, what is well-deserved reward, first of all, for some of you who may not know? Essentially, it is a reward we get yearly from Wargaming as a thank you for playing. That is essentially it. How it works is you get different tiers of rewards based on how long you've been playing. So if you've played for less than a year, you're a recruit, 1 to 3 years, a warrior, 4 to 6, a commander, 7 to 9, an officer, and 10 to 14 years, a veteran. That 10 to 14 years veteran also includes alpha and beta testers. And essentially, each tier of that gets different rewards. And what are those rewards? So, if you have played for less than a year, you are going to get yourself basically 1,000,000 credits, some kind of credit boosters, some premium time, useful stuff for players who've basically played the game for less than a year. If you've played for 1 to 3 years, you're going to get yourself 4 tanks to choose from, and you can choose one. So you can choose one of 4 vehicles between the T-52, the Super Chaffee, the VK-28M, or the KV-1SA. You're also going to get 3 tokens. First of all, I'm going to focus on what are tokens and what can you actually do with them. Well, essentially, tokens are your kind of currency from the well-deserved reward that allow you to pick up some extra stuff. So, you have picked yourself up 3 tokens. This is basically what you're going to be able to choose from. You've got some credit boosters, some credits, some bonds, bits and bobs, essentially. So, a couple of styles, and you spend them. Each have a differing cost. Then, you've played for 4 to 6 years, so you've been playing for a while now. You can basically get all of these vehicles. So, you cross over from that 1 to 3 year mark to the 4 to 6 year mark, and you get access to all of these vehicles. So the new ones being, which you can now get access to, the Super Hellcat, which is quite good. You get access to the Panzerkampfwagen 4 Alpha F2, and the brand new one this year, the Gabler's Destroyer, which we'll have a look at in a second. You also double your tokens, which basically doubles your rewards, because you can pick up double the amount of stuff. Then you've been playing for 7 to 9 years, so you've been playing for quite a while now. You also get access to all of these tanks, depending on whether you'd picked them all up in the previous period, which you should have done. You have also then gained an extra 3 tokens, so you now have 9. So you've added some extra rewards to your pool, because now one of the big things you can get access to is bond equipment. So you can spend 7 tokens to get 1 piece of bond equipment. That is basically what I would advise to most people to get. If you are in this tier, for 7 to 9, which is the lowest tier that gives you enough tokens to access the improved equipment, the bond equipment, do it. Because at the end of the day, it is it's the best value thing there. And then obviously you've got 2 other tokens to spend on other stuff that you might need. So you still have some tokens spare. Then you have been playing for 10 to 14 years. A very long time now. You get access to all these tanks. You should have all of these by this point. You then get 14 tokens. So you can now pick 1 piece of bond equipment, and it must note you can only take 1 piece of bond equipment, but then you've got 7 tokens to spend on whatever else you want. Maybe you want some credits, some credit boosters, and some premium time. There you go. That's what you can spend them on. So, you basically, the longer you've been playing, the more tokens you get, the more access to all these vehicles you get. Then obviously there are some special sections for people who have transferred from the CIS region, so the RU server. You get access to the same rewards basically, but just different badges really. So that is essentially how the tanks, when you unlock the tanks, and how the token store works. Let me give you a quick rundown on each of the tanks. So, we'll start off with the T-52. This is a Soviet light tank. It's got a decent gun, pretty accurate, fast firing, very low alpha. It's really quite quick at tier 6. It can ram pretty nicely. As a light tank, it's not great. However, it can definitely do a job, but it does struggle when it gets up-tiered. That's essentially the T52. Then you've got the Super Hellcat, which in my opinion is actually one of the best. It might actually even be the best. It's a Tier 7 American tank destroyer. It's got quite a pokey gun, 240 alpha, decent gold penetration at Tier 7, 210. It's really quick, 72 forward, so you can take some quite aggressive positions. It's got decent view range, so you can almost use this as a pseudo scout in some situations. However, it's a paper TD, it has no armor, and its gun isn't necessarily the most accurate. That's essentially the Super Hellcat. Then you've got the Super Chaffee. This is basically an American copy of the T52. It's not great. Its gun is pretty poor. Again, it's more alpha, but it's really inaccurate. It's not very quick. But it can do a little bit of a better scout role than the T52 can. So it's basically the T52 has a better gun, worse scouting capabilities. The Super Chaffee, a worse gun, better scouting capabilities. Then we have the meme tank, or as I'd like to call it genuinely, the meme tank, the VK208. This thing is funky. It has a derp gun, a 350 alpha derp gun with heat, AP heat, and then HE, low pen HE, 53 mil, but it just 410 alpha. This thing can two-shot pretty much most medium tanks at tier 6. It's pretty terrifying. A good player can definitely make it work. However, its penetration sucks on all its rounds. It's big as a box. It's not very quick for how big it is. And its gun is so inaccurate, it's unbelievable. You have to be point blank. That's basically the VK. It's a meme tank. Funny to take out in triple platoons and just YOLO people. Then we have the KV-1SA. This is one of the newer ones. This thing is basically a KV-1 with the stock gun, in a sense, I believe. It's the 110 Alpha KV-1 gun. It's got decent penetration at tier 5, especially gold penetration's okay. Low hit points, it's slow, its gun's really inaccurate. It's not great. A little bit of a shitter, to be honest with you. I really would not pick this one if you have to choose. Then the Panzer IV Alpha F2. This thing's a German tier 5 medium. It's okay. Its gun is a little bit pokey, but it's not incredible. It has decent DPM, but it's got really bad dispersion. It's not very quick, and it's really boxy and has terrible armor. But it's okay. Not the best for sure. Basically on par with probably the Super Chaffee and T52. Then we have the Gabler's Destroyer. This is the brand new tank for the 2024 Well-Deserved Reward. It's a British tier 5 light tank that has tracks but doesn't have tracks. It's got wheels that sit on tracks. It's quite weird, quite funky. However, it works like a tracked tank. But statistically, it's not great. I haven't been able to play it personally. I have nagged Wargaming to have a press account to try it, but to no avail. It's got low alpha, 75. It's got decent penetration on its gold. 130 is okay for a light tank, but standard penetration 95 is not good. Has a decent amount of hit points. It's not slow. However, its gun is really not very accurate. It has a clip, as far as I'm aware, like a little pom gun. Basically giving it a 13.6 second reload time for a decent clip. It's okay. That's basically what I'm going to say with the Gabler's Destroyer. It's the new tank. It's not looking great, but it's new. Maybe give it a try. It's always pretty funny, I guess. So there's that. If I was to basically advise you to pick a tank, if you get the opportunity to, pick the Super Hellcat. It's the best out of these 7. It really is. The Super Hellcat is a really quite nice tank. It's really quite snappy, pokey, and quite fun to play. So, that is the well-deserved reward for 2024. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do let me know down in the comments what years you're in, what you're picking up. Do you agree with me you should spend your tokens on Bond equipment? And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again very soon.